Origo News.
Republicans criticize Trump's threat of tariffs on Greenland. The former president announced that starting February 1, 2026, a 10 tariff would be applied to goods imported from Denmark. This rate would increase to 25 on June 1 if Denmark does not agree to transfer Greenlandic territory to the United States. The announcement immediately triggered strong criticism from international capitals and domestic political figures. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer described the proposed tariffs as entirely inappropriate. European NATO members reaffirmed their commitment to Greenland's sovereignty, highlighting that Denmark maintains military forces in Nuuk, Greenland, following joint exercises with European NATO allies. These actions demonstrate Denmark's continued dedication to regional security, contrasting with the U.S. administration's coercive approach. Republican criticism: the plan has also been strongly opposed by members of the president's own party. Republican lawmakers warned that such tariffs could weaken NATO by creating economic tension with long-standing allies. Rep. Don Bacon of Nebraska criticized the administration's approach, calling it disrespectful to Denmark. He argued that Iceland, not Greenland, is central to NATO's strategic strength, and that escalating tensions with allies would ultimately undermine the alliance. Sen. Tom Tillis of North Carolina described the tariffs as beyond stupid, noting that penalizing allies for routine military exercises could harm American businesses and weaken NATO. Tillis emphasized that these measures could inadvertently benefit adversaries such as Russia and China. Sen. Lisa Murkowski of Alaska warned that the tariffs represented more than trade restrictions. They were a deliberate attack on international cooperation. She called on Congress to prevent the misuse of tariff authority to damage alliances or undermine U.S. credibility. Bipartisan opposition: several Republican senators joined Democratic. Senators Murkowski and Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire are co-sponsoring legislation to prevent the administration from pursuing the island's acquisition independently. Murkowski emphasized that divisions within NATO would directly benefit global adversaries and weaken U.S. strategic positioning. The proposed tariffs affect 8 European NATO countries, which have maintained decades-long commitments to the alliance. Lawmakers argue that any attempt to force Greenland's transfer could drain resources, fracture alliances, and erode trust built over years of cooperation. Additional Republican responses: Rep. Mike Turner of Ohio stated that any threat to seize Greenland represents a novel and problematic approach. He noted that the president does not have the authority to use military force to acquire territory from a NATO ally, raising concerns about escalating tensions with partners and undermining U.S. foreign policy in regions such as Gaza, Ukraine, and Russia. Sen. Rand Paul of Kentucky criticized the idea of weaponizing tariffs against allies, asserting that the president should not impose new taxes arbitrarily. Paul stressed that Greenland's stability requires careful, coordinated international management rather than unilateral action. Conclusion: President Trump's plan to impose escalating tariffs on key European allies has drawn widespread criticism from both international leaders and domestic lawmakers. Republican officials across multiple states have condemned the approach as harmful to NATO, damaging to U.S. credibility, and strategically counterproductive. European leaders are preparing for an emergency meeting in Brussels, making the controversy over Greenland a major point of ongoing diplomatic tension.
Origo News.